is still trying to make the music career work out, even though it's been 8 years since his hit single. Rob Stone is a rapper that most of us probably know from his hit single Chill Bill.
Rob Stone, that was a banger too. Rob Stone, two damn phones, Babylons can't crack the code. Yeah, this is a banger too, yep. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be reacting to Where Are One Hit Wonders Today by Matty Balls. Let's get into the video.
Wikipedia defines a one-hit wonder as an entity that achieves mainstream popularity, often for only one piece of work, and becomes known among the general public solely for that momentary success. It can be really difficult to follow up on a hit record, which usually results in the artist falling off or pursuing another career. So today we're going to be looking into 4 one-hit wonders and seeing where they're at today. Starting off with Designer.
Ooh, Designer? That's the first one? I love Designer, bro. I don't know if y'all know, he's the one who made that song Panda, where he's like, krah, krah, krah. Yeah, he's a fire artist, bro. He's had some fire songs. He had Panda. He had the Freshman Freestyle where he did Timmy Turner. Yeah, he got some bangers. He got some heat.
Super quick, I want to say I have a very loose criteria for these one-hit wonders. Most of these artists will have like 1, maybe 2 platinum songs, but then pretty much no other songs that went platinum or gold or anything like that. So sure, yeah, they could have a small fan base, but like the definition I provided earlier, the general music listener probably only knows that one song from them. They might not even know the artist's name. So with that in mind, let's continue. Now, everyone always calls Designer a one-hit wonder because Panda was huge, but to be fair, Timmy Turner was huge. I like that one, and it did go platinum.
See, those are the main 2 I know. So maybe he's a 2-hit wonder. I think both of those songs looks like went platinum from what I'm seeing on the screen right here. Yeah, it looks like both of those went platinum. So he's not really a 1-hit wonder. He's a 2-hit wonder. You know, Timmy Turner. He was wishing for a burner. Kill everybody walking. You know that it's sold in the furnace.
So I think he's a 2-hit wonder, if anything. Like I said though, Panda was huge, and eventually it went 5 times platinum. In 2016, Designer was on top of the world, but nowadays rumors have floated around that he had to register as a sex offender due to an incident on a plane.
No, bro, I messed with him, bro. I hope this is like a mix-up, bro. I hope he didn't actually have to register as a sex offender.
Actually, there was a bit of misinformation there, but I'll explain it later. So, how did Designer get here? Well, let's check it out. Designer had been making music for a little bit and saw some buzz with his song Zombie Walk, but he first saw insane success after releasing his debut commercial single Panda. First released on SoundCloud, then shortly after uploaded to iTunes, this song, as I'm sure you all know, was a huge hit. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Designer had only released like a couple songs before putting out Panda, at least songs that we know of. But Panda was...
So either that song was a major hit and someone found him, or he's low-key an industry plant. Because only having a few songs out and then being able to go platinum and getting signed to a major deal like that, you got to be somewhat of an industry plant, right?
Everywhere, and it was most notable for its unique sound and Designer's very energetic ad-libs. The song went #1, and Designer became the youngest artist to be at the top of the Billboard charts for 17 weeks. He quickly caught the attention of Kanye West and Pusha T, who had just taken over as president of Kanye's label Good Music. Designer was signed to Good Music in February of 2016 and was also featured on Kanye West's huge album The Life of Pablo on...
Yeah, I remember when it was on The Life of Pablo, he didn't even feature him on the album. He literally just took snippets or like a sample from the Panda song and then mixed it into his own song. It was just basically the same song over again. It wasn't even a Designer feature. There was no new verse or nothing like that from Designer. He just was trying to capitalize on the hype of the song. It was kind of lame, actually.
2 different songs, one of which, Part 2, was technically sampling Panda, but it really felt like a remix, hence the name Part 2. Anyways, Designer was blowing up, and he was blowing up quick. Keep in mind that at this time, Designer was only 19 years old, which was bound to cause some stress and maybe even hinder his decisions.
And it was like, damn, like everything is happening so fast. You feel me? Because I just put the record out probably like 4 weeks ago, and now I'm with Kanye, you feel me? And it was like, damn, like, you feel me? So everything kind of was moving real quick. It was fun, but then it started to cause anxiety. You know what I mean? To a point that it was like certain times I ain't know how to move, because I wasn't used to having security guards and shit like that. You know what I mean? I was like, You feel me? I'm a kid walking down the block, you know what I mean? I'm rapping with my homies. Me and my homies are security, you know what I mean, for each other, you know what I mean? So it's like...
He became a XXL freshman in 2016, performed at the BET Awards, featured on Good Music.
Yeah, I remember that XXL freestyle that he did from the clip that he just showed. It was trash, bro.
Compilation album, released his mixtape New English, and was even featured on Bill Nye's Netflix show. He also released his song Timmy Turner, which was his second huge song. However, after 2016, we wouldn't really hear much from Designer. Designer released a handful of songs in 2017, but was seeing a steep decline in relevance. Meanwhile, in 2018, Kanye West was producing for and working with good music artists and affiliates, helping them create some really good music. He did.
Yeah, I remember during this time period with I don't know if y'all saw the album cover, it was Kids See Ghosts. He released like a 5-song EP with like multiple people at the same time. It was like, he did like a 5-6 song EP with Nas. He did one with Kid Cudi. I think he did something with Pusha T at the time too, but he didn't do one with Big Sean, who's also on Good Music, which is kind of weird. But we ended up finding out later that him and Big Sean are kind of beefing. So
with Pusha T, Tiana Taylor, and Kid Cudi, who wasn't signed at the time, but he had previously been signed. A few artists on the label, however, were neglected, one of which was Designer. Designer said he was going to release an album, and he even mentioned releasing 2 albums, but all that came out in 2018 was an EP called LOD, or Life of Designer. And I don't think it helps that Kanye's record label hasn't always had a good reputation. Despite all of the great artists and projects released under this label, it also has had many issues that are fairly public. Kanye himself even said, "Running a record label was the biggest mistake I ever made. I never asked to be a label owner. Sony offered it to me and I took it. But I can't be there when people are calling me to the studio to hear some music or approve clothes for a video." And
bro, this has to be the worst thing, to sign to somebody who doesn't even want to be the label owner. Like, this has to be one of the worst decisions to make for your career. But I don't know when that quote came out, but if I saw that, I definitely wouldn't sign to Good Music, no matter if they got Kanye or not, bro. If you don't want to be there, I don't want to be there.
It's pretty obvious that Designer experienced the aftermath of this mistake. Following the release of his EP in 2018, the next year Designer had expressed his discontent with his label. First, he ranted about how Kanye and his label weren't doing anything for him.
All artists complain about their label. Almost all artists. I've worked in the music industry for the last few years, managing an artist, and hella artists complain about their label, whether that's them not letting them put out music, them not letting them have creative control, the artist getting shelved, or the label not allowing them to collaborate with other artists that they want to collaborate with, or the label not even paying them out sometimes, which is actually crazy. But all artists complain about their label, bro.
And even said Kanye was crazy.
I think he's the genius. I niggas think all that nigga shit. Well, the me nigga, that nigga's crazy, nigga. And the me nigga, I've been doing shit by myself.
Kanye is, in fact, crazy. He is a genius at the same time, though. I'm not going to take that away from him, but he is crazy.
To me, nigga, I brought good music back.
He then went on Twitter to say that he wanted to be released from his label. It was obvious that his label had been holding him back, and he hadn't released a single solo track in 2019. And judging by his output in recent years, that was because Good Music had put him on the back burner. Artists being shelved by their label is never a good thing, and Designer was clearly finding that out the hard way. Designer said in an interview that on multiple occasions he wanted to get into a room with Kanye to work on his music and get some pointers. He said the reason he signed to Kanye's label was to work with Kanye. It seemed like Designer just wanted a mentor in the game, as he was still pretty young at 22 years old. Regardless, after he requested to be taken off the label, he was released in late 2019. Also, another weird thing about this situation is that an album called Fuck Good was leaked on his SoundCloud, featuring 23 Designer songs with features from tons of popular artists. This led many people to thinking that this was the album that Good Music wouldn't let Designer release, so he leaked it to spite them.
Yeah, I wouldn't let my artist put out an album that says F the label either. Unless you change the name to Fuck Good afterwards, when they dropped him from the label, then that makes sense. But if that was the original title of the album, I wouldn't have let him release it either.
Whether or not that's true, Designer was clearly excited to be released from his label.
Anywhere, any second, this is the dream of every artist. This is the dream of every artist. Any second, any time, I get the bag out here, and I'm still touring, I'm still doing my thing. No label behind me right now.
In 2020, Designer did an interview with Everyday Struggle, further explaining his situation to DJ Academics. He had also told Vlad TV and others that he only left Good Music because of his issues with his dad going into a coma. But based on everything else he said in his output of music, I'm gonna assume that this was just an excuse to keep things on better terms with the label. After his separation from Good Music, Designer's output increased a ton, which made it obvious obvious that good music was what was hurting his career. However, the damage had already been done. Since he was unable to release much music in the late 2010s, his streams and views went down a bunch. And of course, there are other factors that contributed to this, like mental health issues, family issues, and other things which...
Yeah, I saw a lot of stuff over the last few years of Designer going through mental health issues, dealing with depression, bro. Bro's hair was a mess. Bro's whole life was a mess. He looked like he was broke. I don't know if he's rich off the Panda song. I don't know how much of it he actually owns, but I've seen a lot of stuff over the last few years of clips on social media about his kind of decline in mental health.
heavily hurt him, not just musically. It's pretty clear how difficult his life was getting around this time, especially with his failing music career and his label issues. It got especially clear when he got arrested for exposing himself on a plane. Apparently on a trip home from Tokyo, he exposed himself on a plane and was scolded by the flight attendant. He then made a post that said, "For the past few months I have not been okay, and I have been struggling to come to terms with what's going on. While overseas for a concert I performed at, I had to be admitted into a hospital. I was not thinking clearly. They gave me meds and I had to hop on a plane home. I'm ashamed of my actions that happened on that plane. I landed back to the States and am admitting myself in a facility to help me. I will be canceling all of my shows and my obligations until further notice."
Dang. So I guess that whole mental health episode that I saw on social media was real, bro. Damn.
Mental health is real, guys. Please pray for me. If you're not feeling like yourself, please get help. Like I said earlier, there were false reports that he had to register as a sex offender after this, but his attorney actually said that wasn't true. On the music side of things, though, probably...
Okay, that's good. See, okay, that wasn't true, man. I like this guy. Thank God he didn't have to register as a sex offender. Thank God.
His biggest success as of late was featuring on the song Sky City by Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign. He just had some vocals on the hook, but I'm sure he got some royalties, so that's...
Oh, dang, this was a recent release, bro. What? Kanye put him back on some more songs after him not being on the label? That's dope.
Good. I'm not sure if him and Ye patched things up because this song was worked on between 2018 and 2019, and all the label problems happened around that time too, so who knows. And aside from that, Designer has been releasing a ton of singles over the past few years, and all of them have floated around 100,000 plays on Spotify, which isn't too bad, but it's also not great. So I hope Designer...
No, after getting a song that goes, 2 songs that go platinum, getting only 100,000 streams on your song is awful. That is god awful. Like, fuck what he's saying about this not being too bad. That's awful, bro.
Designer's doing better these days as he's no longer with his label, and I hope he's getting the help he needs. And for better or for worse, while Designer is still making headlines these days, the creator of Somebody That I Used to Know completely ditched his music career. Well, kinda, but I'll explain that. Gautier is an artist that went multi-platinum and won 3 Grammys thanks to his hit single Somebody That I Used to Know.
Oh shit, it's a song. No, it's just somebody that I used to know. Sorry, I can't sing, but that was a banger too. What?
I'm sure you guys all remember that song, and it was even one of the most recommended songs on another video I did about one-hit wonders. But he intentionally did something that would sabotage his career after this song came out, which left many people wondering what happened to him. Well, Gautier got his start in music in the early 2000s, when he realized that he was able to produce songs on his computer and sample other songs. He was really big on sampling and utilized it a ton in his early music.
Look, my parents' record collection was the first one from which I really went through and pillaged and started sampling from, so...
Oh shit, he's Australian? What?
Yeah, there's been kind of a direct connection between the music they had at home, the music they listened to, and how it's found its way into my love of pop music that I, you know...
He put out a 4-track CD in 2001 and sent them to tons of radio stations and other people in the industry. Gautier really started growing when he got noticed by the Australian radio station Triple J, and they put some of his tracks on the radio station. This led to him getting a publishing deal, and he put out his first album, Boredface, in 2003. Slowly but surely, Gautier was growing as an artist. He had been doing some shows and touring around Australia with his band The Basics. Then in 2006, he released his album Like Drawing Blood, which was fairly successful. Thanks to Triple J's support, he got a lot of attention on his project and was even voted as the best album of 2006 by Triple J listeners. This album allowed for him to get connections to his manager and sold over 70,000 copies. Gautier...
That's not bad. 70,000 sales. If that's like first week sales, that's good. That's really good.
It was coming up, and over the next few years he won multiple awards for his music in Australia and even won an award for Like Drawing Blood in the UK. But then things got a whole lot crazier for Gautier than just his Australian success, because he was about to release one of the biggest songs of the next decade. Thanks to his previous success, Gautier was able to afford to continue making music and also was allowed the luxury of releasing music internationally, something he hadn't really done much before. Most of his success had just been local, with some in Europe as well. However, he started working on his his next album Making Mirrors and released a couple of singles. The first did fairly well, and the second one changed his life forever. The song Somebody
Yo, the video was crazy for this. I hope he plays a snippet from the video.
That I Used to Know was released on July 5th of 2011.
2.5 billion views or 2.3, whatever. That's crazy.
It started out debuting at 27 on the Australian Top 50 Singles chart and quickly began growing. It also got a boost from people like Ashton Kutcher and Lily Allen on Twitter, people with millions of followers. But what surprisingly worked out in his favor is when the music video for this song was leaked.
I guess I've seen little spot fires around the world kind of start up. It leaked. The video leaked in Australia a week before it was meant to be released, and very quickly started, getting a lot of YouTube views. And it's the first real hit single I've had in terms of commercial airplay in Australia and being a real top 10 charting song. And then to see the same thing happen in Belgium and Holland, and then over Christmas in Germany, and now
the video leaked. A lot of things that happen with these popular artists about leaks are usually just intentional things that get put out. Sometimes the artist will put it out because the label won't put it out, or they just leak it to try to get that feeling of like, oh, this wasn't supposed to be out and now everybody secretly has it, and it forces people to kind of start sharing it around. But yeah, a lot of these leaks are intentional leaks, bro.
North America, it could be heading the same way. It's interesting.
I'm sure you guys know how big of a song this was because it went crazy. When first released in the United States, it debuted at 91 on the Billboard Hot 100. People performed the song on things like American Idol, and it started catching some momentum. It hit #1 and stayed there for 8 weeks. It was the best-selling song of 2011.
Dang, that's a big accomplishment. Staying there for 8 weeks at #1, that's a freaking banger. What?
And it has since went 14 times platinum. It helped that this track was deemed by many as a super relatable breakup song. Like Unilad said, Somebody That I Used to Know became one of the biggest and most recognizable hits of the 2010s, with the post-breakup anthem resonating right around the world. Even Prince said he loved this song when it won a Grammy.
Oh yeah, see, that's the biggest accomplishment of all. Forget the Grammys, forget the 8 weeks on #1, forget the music video going viral. Nah, Prince saying I like your song, bro, that is the biggest accomplishment you could get.
Grammy goes to... Oh, I love this song. Somebody That I Used to Know.
But for some reason, despite all of his success, Gotye decided to leave it all behind. After releasing his album Making Mirrors in 2011, doing the usual newly famous person press run, like performing on Jimmy Kimmel, and things along those lines, Gotye sort of vanished. As things wound down in the following years, aside from doing a few performances, Gotye hadn't released any new music. And by 2014, he announced to fans that there would be no more new music. He said, "There will be no more Gotye music." Wait, maybe there will be. I'm not entirely sure right now. There are many contingencies. Gotye.
That sounds like he's having issues with his label. His deal might be messed up. I really hope that's not the case. I hope he just gracefully bowed out or something like that. The only thing I'm hoping that I really don't hear on this video is that he's like homeless or in a mental hospital now.
He even revealed in 2017 that he doesn't put ads on his songs. But he said, "I'm not interested in selling my music. That's the reason I don't put ads on my YouTube channel." Which seems strange to people in today's climate, but that is a decision you can make. I'm like that with all my music. I generally never want to sync my music for products. He even said that he lets student filmmakers use his music for free as well. And Gotye had made it very clear what his goal was in the music industry.
Do you have any worries about becoming identified with that song rather than your body of work?
On some level,
it becomes your Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's perhaps inevitable. I mean, I guess everybody, has to have their biggest song. Most of my favorite songs that I've ever produced, the ones that I think, are the, in whatever peculiar way, are the best confluence of, the experimentation I like, a lyrical concept I'm really into, and maybe having made a production that I think is really great, that I'm really, I guess, the most proud of. They're often the songs that divide people the most. They're the ones that people go, I don't get this at all. Like, what's he thinking? And I'm like, yeah, this is great. And, people who really get it, they love it. And it's kind of for those people I would continue to make music, and for myself, rather than the people who go, oh, Somebody That I Used to Know was his biggest thing. Yeah, he never matched that. I'm like, they're the cursory listeners,
Right.
that sounds kind of, dismissive, but I'm not saying everybody has to like all the other stuff I do,
Right,
but
right.
I'm not I'm not concerned if, this is my biggest hit or whatever.
So why did he quit, and what does he do now? Well, there were various factors that likely played into it.
Please don't say he's homeless, bro. Please don't say he's homeless.
For example, he repeatedly said he wasn't entirely proud of the fact that he was spreading a more negative message with his viral breakup song. There was also the issue of people only knowing him for the one song, which seemed to impact his performances. As one fan said on Reddit, "My friend said when he performed at Coachella the year he blew up over this song, it was the first one he performed and then the crowd just left." The LA Times even said, "With time left in his set, those who came for the 4 minutes of angsty heartbreak had gotten what they needed and started to file out." Gautier said, "Now that that's out of the way, let's get to the real music," or at least that's what I'm assuming he was going to say.
Dang, that's messed up. That's super disrespectful for an artist to do their biggest song and the whole crowd just walk away and not want to hear the rest of the performance. That's kind of messed up, bro.
These reasons, among others that I mentioned earlier, were probably why he decided to switch it up and ditch the Gautier project altogether. In 2014, he started his own indie label called Spirit Level. He also rejoined the band I mentioned earlier called The Basics. And over the years, they've put out 13 albums and have played over 2,500 shows. In 2021, they announced they were done touring, but they still planned on making and releasing music. So it honestly seems like Gautier had the most genuine and passionate approach to the music industry, more than most artists seem to have. He literally got his bag as Gautier, made some great music under that name, and then decided to work on a much more fulfilling project with some of his friends. So regardless, while Gautier may have been a one-hit wonder, Wally Backer had a very fulfilling and successful music career, which is what matters at the end of the day. Wally's his real name, by the way, just so that doesn't completely confuse you. And while Gautier went back to making music after his insane success, Sheck West decided to pursue an entirely different career.
Oh, dang, he's going to Sheck West next? Sheck West, of all people, he's the one who did the Mo Bamba, the frat party anthem, bro. When I was in college, this is when I would go to like frat parties and things like that. This was the #1 song, bro. All those white kids would be going ham listening to this, man. What?
West is a rapper who took the internet by storm with his song Mo Bamba. It was super viral, everybody was singing it, and there was also that stupid TikTok trend where people overfilled their cups of water with that song playing in the background. And
Also, if y'all don't know, Sheck West is signed to Travis Scott's label Cactus Jack. As far as I know, as of today, he's still signed to Cactus Jack, and they haven't been pushing him at all over the last few years. Like, his song came out, he blew up, they featured Sheck West on a few Cactus Jack albums, and that's about it. I haven't heard much from Sheck West since then.
to be fair to Sheck, he did have another platinum song, but it was a feature, so I'm not entirely going to count that, and many people still consider Sheck West a one-hit wonder. So let's check it out. Sheck West actually started out as a basketball player slash model, which is when he saw the most success in his early career. He even modeled for Yeezy Season 3 at Madison Square Garden back in 2016. He was toying around with the idea of making music the whole time, but was much more successful in other areas. But Sheck's mom didn't like how he was moving around, especially with the modeling thing, so she sent him to Senegal.
My mom sent me to Africa because she didn't want me modeling and I wasn't going to school.
Oh shit, he's Senegalese. Okay.
I was like running the streets with
To
my
Senegal?
friends. Yeah, to Senegal.
She was like, you not just gonna be taking these cute little photos and hanging out with the weed smokers. We sending you back.
I wasn't even like smoking crazy back then. Like I was just on some like just wild like.
So it really seemed like his mom was trying to straighten him out or something. Eventually, he came home and decided to commit to music. He started putting out some tracks and eventually created his song Mo Bamba back in June of 2017.
And I heard Mo Bamba was an accident. Like the beat was just chilling, and then like the beat turned off, and then you just hear, "Oh, fuck, shit, bitch, Young Sheck West." Yeah.
However, it didn't really blow up until late 2017 or early 2018. As Wikipedia describes it, it was a word-of-mouth sensation without record label or radio support. Eventually, the song blew up and even peaked at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. It even went 5 times platinum. Travis Scott caught wind of this song and wanted to sign him to Cactus Jack, but then Kanye intervened and said he wanted to sign him too. Sheck said, "My deal was about to be signed with Cactus Jack, and then Kanye heard Mo Bamba, and he was going crazy. He flew me out to LA overnight. I went in there with a butterfly effect hat on, and he's on the phone calling Trav like, I heard you're fucking with Sheck West. I'm fucking with Sheck West too. Let's do this shit together." And just like that, Sheck West had signed a joint record deal with Good Music and Cactus Jack.
Okay, so he wasn't just with Cactus Jack. He was with Good Music and Cactus Jack. Still doesn't sound like a good idea, but
Following this, Sheck went on a nice run featuring on Travis Scott's No Bystanders, Jack Boy's Gang Gang, which also went platinum, Dreamville's Stick, and many more over the years. He was also touring with Travis. However, as time went on, it seemed like Sheck was becoming more known for his features, if anything at all. His 2018 debut album Mudboy was fairly successful. It peaked at 17 on Billboard and it went gold. Though to be fair, I think those stats were definitely carried a bit by Mo Bamba. However, despite his cosigns from some of the biggest artists in the game, it seemed like after all this, Sheck West just vanished. Like I said, apart from his occasional features, Sheck West really wasn't heard from too much. Right after Mudboy, he announced another album, but we never heard it. Many fans theorize he was mismanaged because both Cactus Jack and Good Music don't have a great reputation when it comes to managing their artists.
this is So Fago that they're showing on the screen right now. He signed to Cactus Jack a few years ago, and he wasn't dropping any music, and it looked like his career was on a decline after he signed to Cactus Jack. Just a little background on why he's saying this with this artist in the background.
Like we saw with Designer earlier in the video. He later said in 2020 on Twitter, "We announced Hell to Paradise in 2018, a day after Mudboy. Don't give a fuck about what's happening or the outcome," which definitely makes me think there were some label issues. Then in 2019, he got hit with quite a few allegations. First, he was accused of not paying for a music video, and then was accused by his ex Justin Sky of abuse and SA. Then some of his former classmates accused him of abusing women in high school. Then another girl named India Love also accused him of the same thing. Now,
Dang. Okay, we got at least 3 instances where women are accusing him of physical abuse. Yeah, that's kind of looking a little bad. I'm not saying all these women are telling the truth. Maybe they all could be making the same lie after hearing the other girl told a lie about him, but it's looking pretty consistent, bro.
nothing legally ever came of these accusations, but of course it hurt his image. Sheck obviously has denied all of these, but he did get removed from an advertising campaign because of this. Then of course the pandemic hit in 2020, and that's what really solidified the slowing down of Sheck's career. However, something happened that opened up an opportunity for him. In 2020, he acted as if he was entering the NBA draft, but it was just promo for his song Been Ballin'. However, after this happened, someone from the Paris Basketball League was interested in signing him. So Sheck was able to live out his basketball dreams playing in Paris after signing.
That's actually super dope. What? He was able to go hoop professionally after becoming a famous rapper, having a platinum single? That's crazy.
Said, "I didn't come here to sell my album or make it gimmicky. I came here with no chains on. I came here just to hoop. I didn't come here to bring the whole circus to fucking Paris basketball. I came here to hoop and play hard." Unfortunately though, he only ended up playing 3 games for reasons I'm not sure of. But it's interesting, despite him being only 26 years old, he's been able to play professional basketball, have a very successful modeling career, and be a multi-platinum artist.
Yeah, this dude definitely got something special, bro.
And Sheck West also still releases music, just not too often. Most recently, he had a controversy where he accused Kanye of stealing his flow, cadence, beat, and tempo on the song Carnival, which may honestly have some merit, as artist-owned record labels have often been critiqued and accused of stealing ideas from their signees. On top of that, Sheck is credited as a writer on the song Carnival. Regardless, Sheck seems to be living out all his dreams, doing whatever he wants to do, and having a good time. But this next one...
Okay, he can't say he was stealing his stuff. I mean, he credited him as a writer, which means he also probably got a check off of it, so he didn't just steal his stuff, bro. Like, that's kind of weird.
Hit wonder is still trying to make the music career work out, even though it's been 8 years since his hit single. Rob Stone is a rapper that most of us probably know from his hit single Chill Bill.
Rob Stone, that was a banger too. Rob Stone, 2 damn phones, Babylons can't crack the code. Yeah, this is a banger too. Yep, that's the only song I know about him. I think I remember for the longest after that song came out, he kept teasing that he was going to be releasing an album, and I just never ended up hearing anything else after that.
I mean, it's hard to say his name, Rob Stone, without saying 2 damn phones right afterwards.
Yeah.
But I've personally been wondering what happened to him after his 4 times platinum viral hit. So let's check it out. You may be noticing a pattern by now, because Rob Stone is another artist who blew up off one of their first songs, which was Chill Bill. Originally, he released it in 2014 on SoundCloud, then he put out a mixtape on SoundCloud, followed by a music video for Chill Bill. However, it was finally commercially released in June of 2016, debuting at 99 on the Billboard Hot 100, and eventually it worked its way up to 19. It also got a remix with Drum, Denzel Curry, and Cousin Stiz, and as I'm sure you guys know, this song was everywhere.
I wonder what that Drum remix sounds like. Drum is like a really good singer. I wonder if he was singing the lyrics or something like that.
Like I said, it's hard to say his name without saying 2 damn phones right after. Because of this song's success, he was able to collaborate with people like Lil Skies and Lil Yachty. He was performing at places like Coachella and opening for artists like Designer.
Yeah, Lil Skies fell off too.
which was a lot more impressive at the time this song went viral. But to be honest, after this song died down, so did the rest of his career. Like, he's one of the few one-hit wonders on here to hardly have any interviews or many other notable things apart from this one track. And what I believe had a big part in his fall off was his beef with XXXTentacion and Ski Mask the Slump God.
Dang, I didn't know he was beefing with them. XXX died, so I mean, that shouldn't have affected him afterwards, but maybe it was during his peak. I don't know. But dang, I didn't know he was beefing with X and Ski Mask.
It all started in April of 2017 while Ski and Rob Stone were opening for Designer on his tour. It seems like Ski tried to go out and grab a mic, but instead Rob Stone started his set, so Ski just stayed on stage in frustration and was then escorted off the stage. X saw this video and got mad, saying, "Let them know whoever the fuck that is getting fucked in their mouth when I go on tour for putting their peasant hands on my brother." Rob Stone saw this and got mad, saying, "I'm not Drake. Don't come around here with that bullshit."
Nah, X used to be wild, bro. He used to be talking crazy on the internet.
Ski chimed in saying, "Is there a problem though? Cause you see how your
Also, another woman beater, by the way.
team tried me. We can tell the fans all the details."
But me and Ski Mask was talking in DM, like kind of squashing it, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You guys are tour mates at the end of the day.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we
Being
both trying to do
grown
a tour. We'll chopping it up. But X was over there still gassing
Still
it.
gassing
like,
it, just adding the fuel to
Yeah,
it.
you know, writing the check. You know what I mean? And I told Ski Mask, like, you better tell him to pipe it down, bro.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And then they both just decided to keep it going like
Wow.
that.
The next night on tour, Ski got jumped while he was on stage, fell off the stage, got back up, and then was chased by a big group of people.
Dang, do you think the Rob Stones people were the ones that jumped Ski Mask? I don't know.
No one was really sure who jumped Ski, but it was likely they were affiliated one way or another with Rob, or they were at least fans. Ski then said on Twitter, 30 people against 4, I'm unbothered and unscathed. A couple of months later, X was performing during his tour and got knocked out by a dude who rushed on the stage, who was then jumped by X's security. Apparently, a bunch of people in the crowd started chanting Rob Stone after this happened. X then tweeted, "Security set me up. I got sucker punched and knocked out. It is what it is. Next time, make sure you kill me so I can't talk shit." Rob Stone denied any involvement in an interview the day after, and X also commented on the situation.
I feel straight. In the end of the day, this is the life I live. Nigga finally caught me lacking, and it was about time. Bitch, I was, what, 5-0? Shit. About fucking time, a nigga.
He said, "About time, bro. You got knocked out, bro. What are you talking about? About time."
Knocked me the fuck out. Anybody talking about it was that Pussy Boy artist. Just so you know, it was some gang niggas from San Diego, some affiliates that snuck in through the side, paid security off so they could come in, snuff me out, and thought they was gonna jump me, but we was too deep.
Regardless of who is right, I'm sure you guys all know how cult-like of a fan base X has, so you already know they had his back. And in my opinion, that's a big reason as to why Rob Stone fell off. People hated Rob Stone so much, and to this day, X and Ski fans troll him in his comments. On one of his latest songs, there are a bunch of comments like, "Buying views is crazy, show the real numbers. It's no coming back for Rob Stone, his career is over. Nah, Ski had every reason on G. This shit trash, X was better." Despite the hate though, apparently Rob and X passed.
This shit trash. X was better. That's like the NBA YoungBoy comments. I don't know if y'all noticed under a lot of music artists posts, whenever they post their new songs and stuff, people will go flood the comments and say, "YoungBoy better, YoungBoy better."
Patch things up. After X passed, Rob shared a phone call they had where X said, "I understand why things went the way it went. So I just wanted to let you know I don't got no smoke with you. We can make money together. Just give it time, we can link, we can talk." Rob said under the post, "I would never wish death upon another human being. We had our differences and battles in the field, but at the end of it all, X reached out to me like a man and we talked it out like men."
Okay, that's good. At least they talked it out and squashed the beef, bro. That's good.
I wasn't ever with posting this out, man, but I feel like the both of our supporters need to hear this for closure. Please let him rest peacefully. By this point though, it was too late, and fans had already made up their minds about Rob Stone. There was nothing else he really did that caused his fall off apart from not following it up with another hit and his beef with X. Nowadays, Rob Stone is still putting out music, albums, singles, the whole shebang, but most of his songs are struggling to crack even 100,000 plays. Like I said, X fans are still hating on him, which probably doesn't help, and it does seem a little unfair since they patched things up, so you guys should leave him alone. It's been 7 years, he's probably learned his lesson. Anyways, if there's anyone that you thought should have made this list, they're probably in my other video I did on One Hit Wonders. I wanted to make a follow-up because...
All right, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Every subscriber counts. My channel's new, so it really helps me out a lot when you guys subscribe. Let me know in the comments who's your favorite one-hit wonder, all right?